Welcome to In the Net in Palmyra. Central Penn Knights taking on Penn State York in game number 2. Our apologies for technical difficulties that we did kind of lead with that today. We're trying some new camera setups to try to make things better for the Knights in terms of our broadcasts. But unfortunately, we do apologize. The Knights did fall 9-8 in that first game. But we live to fight another day and hope for a split here as Zach Haefner takes the mound. Tom, why don't we walk back a little bit to last game and take a look at what happened for those who might have missed it?
Well, it was pretty much our game to win, and we just kind of let them crawl back into it. I think Xavier Hernandez, for how effective he had been throughout most of the game, I think he may have just been in there an inning too long. It looks like, I don't want to say that his stuff was less effective, as more as I want to say that the Penn State hitters were just a little more on him. They'd seen him a few times, they'd seen more pitches, and I felt like they were able to more easily time him up and had an easier time just letting the balls go by that were balls.
Both the fourth and the sixth inning, Hernandez basically allowed the bases loaded with nobody out. Never a good recipe for success. But again, we have Zach Haefner here on the mound in Game 2, a very similar lineup to Game 1, which is unique because Stern is known for mixing and matching his players. So we'll take a look at the starting lineups in just a moment. Leading off, Owen Zell hitting the 2-hole, Zach Boyer. Gabe Kaufman hits third, Nathan Wise hits fourth. Kevon Davis in there today at DH. McLean is hitting 6th, Hoover 7th, Smiley 8th, and Ryan Stevens in the 9-hole for Zach Haefner on the mound. Hopefully we have no issues with our stream today.
Leading off for Penn State is going to be A.J. Miller.
And Haefner fires. Beautiful slider, and one of the things he's most known for is that slider.
Follows that up with a fastball down at the knees, fouled off. So quickly ahead, 0-2. When I've seen Haefner pitch, he's been pretty impressive. Let's see what he's bringing here.
Fastball, fouled off, out of play. Again, you can always go to centralpennknights.com for all of the information on our teams. Live stats, schedules. Of course, we'll be back here with you in just a couple of weeks. This is our only game here. Big strikeout there
Nice
from Haefner.
curveball from Haefner to get him swinging.
This will be the only time this season we are here at In the Net, but we will return to FNB Field, our next home date, April 19th for a 3 and a 5. And then Community Night, Circle April 21st, Friday against Penn State Wilkes-Barre, 5 and 7 o'clock. And then we'll be back at FNB for a 1 and a 3 against Bucks County Community College, May the 2nd. So 3 more home dates, 6 more home contests. So big strikeout there for Miller, who hit that mammoth home run back in Game 1.
Pitch runs inside a little, doesn't get the hitter. That was mighty close, though. So we know he has that two-seamer. Ooh.
And there's a shot to left. It's going to be out of play, but gosh.
Looked like he hung a breaking ball there, and the hitter was just a little too out in front of it.
Williams hit that one a mile. 2 walks in the first game, grounded into a double play in the 6th, and struck out, so 0 for 2, but did reach base twice.
Oh, another one that somehow didn't hit him.
Fantastic velocity there from Haefner. He got him on the outside pitch to the slider.
That's the spot.
2 early Ks here for Haefner. Sporting the 0-0. 9-8 loss for the Knights runs the Knights to 6-11 on the season. Penn State improves to 6-5.
Jay Williams in the hole here. Swings and fouls off the second pitch down the right field line, but that will get out of play. No score. Still here early in the game, top of the first inning.
Again, our apologies for the technical difficulties in Game 1. That's going to be fouling out of play. We do apologize. We are trying some new things here to continue to try to improve Knights broadcasts, and had a issue with the streaming device, so we do apologize about that. Haefner on the season's only appeared in 2 games, pitched 4 innings, and has allowed 5 earned runs in those 2 innings.
Fastball down the middle, grounded to short. Long throw. And they're going to say that throw pulled him off the bag. It was a good scoop to hold on to that, but I don't know. Don't have the best angle from here to see that, however.
Brings up Schubert. And Schubert in the first game singled and doubled, scored 2 runs, walked and struck out. So 2 for 3 in that first contest. He was really struggling coming into this game, so maybe he found something.
Takes a fastball for a called strike.
Tom, really interesting that Smiley is back in catching a second game. That's not usually something that you see. In fact, I don't ever recall seeing somebody catching 2 games of a doubleheader.
Certainly not. I wonder if he'll catch the whole game, or if maybe he'll just work with this pitcher.
Well, he was pinch hit for in the last game, so I don't know that he came out in the 7th. Can Haefner get out of this first inning unscathed? Really tough pitch. Smiley left it framed. And
he wanted it, too.
I would say.
He was ready to walk off the mound.
And there he goes.
Another breaking ball he just managed to spoil there.
Hit and run was on. Paul Miller and Tom Davis from In the Net in Palmyra. Penn State, York, and Central Penn. Game 2. Big game here for the Knights to hopefully get out of here with a split. Still have a shot at the postseason.
Spoils another good fastball down and away. Hanging tough here. Haefner just not able to put him away as of yet. I wonder what Haefner has in his arsenal here, if he can show him something he hasn't shown him yet. Because he's just spoiling a lot of good pitches. Fastball in, that looks like it's going to stay up for the center fielder. Got
him in on the hands, and good catch there by Stevens in center. That's going to do it for the top of the first. The Knights hanging on to a 0-0 tie game thus far. Central Penn ladies who lead. Are you ready to shatter the glass ceiling? Register now for our 2023 Women's Leadership Retreat, April 28th to the 30th at Camp Hebron in Halifax. Activities, speakers, workshops, and more. This memorable ladies-only annual event is not to be missed. Register for free at givebutter.com/CPClead. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, Owen Zell leads off. Our nightly news player of the game went 4 for 5 in the first contest. Wasn't able to come through in the top of the 7th, but had a wonderful game nonetheless. Also drove in a run and stole a base, and that one was a questionable call at best.
That looked a little off the plate to me.
Of
course, the catcher's going to set up there again.
We've got Blake Adkins in this game. Only pitched 1 contest so far. 0-1 in 1 inning pitched, allowed 3 earned runs, walking 3. So, wondering about his command here.
Zell swings and hits a bouncer to first base. Again, Zell loses his footing in the batter's box. It has really been an adventure playing on this turf, I think.
That was something that we talked about a bit in the last game. Is Zell has... There were others, too, that slipped, but Zell has slipped several times.
That off of his foot. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Just the umpires are having a conversation, and Zell's still standing in the batter's box. I don't know if maybe he fouled that off his foot. Nope. Now the umpires have conferred, and
not sure what the issue is here.
Okay, so they're saying that he did foul that off his foot, so Zell stays in.
And hard to say what type of impact that could have on this game.
And now Penn State's head coach, of course, wants an explanation. Okay.
And there you have it.
After some heated words, we're ready to resume. We'll see how this call works out.
Penn State coach not pleased at all by the sort of flip-flopping, if you will. And Zell is going to fly out. So no harm, no foul there in terms of Penn State York. Now Boyer will come up with no one on. Boyer had a couple of huge shots, was thrown out at home plate in the 6th, which turned out to be the difference in the game. Did have 2 singles and an RBI in that game and hit a couple of ropes down the right field line.
Takes a curveball here for ball 1 to get ahead in the count. Swing!
And there's a shot to deep right field. That ball is gonna be off the scoreboard and out of here for a home run. Zach Boyer. What a shot. And we are seeing an offensive explosion today. Nate Wise hit one earlier. Gabe Kaufman and Justin Miller. And now Zach Boyer with the home run. Fantastic shot out to right.
Yeah, just a short, quick stroke right to the ball. Got plenty of aluminum on it to drive it off that right center field scoreboard. Big hit for the Knights. Pitch. That one stays up. Kaufman gets ahead 1-0.
And as you may have heard, quite an output there from the Knights. And what can Kaufman do here?
Ready with the delivery.
Big hook.
Big 12-6 curveball there.
I would call that more like a 12-5, but that's going to be right off home. Kaufman out of the box thought he fouled it off.
I believe he did foul that off.
Umpire didn't agree, so one call goes for the Knights, one against.
Do we call that a makeup call on the umpire's part?
Well, Nathan Wise has had a wonderful season to this point. Big hack there, comes up empty. Coming into today, Wise had 14 hits on 32 at-bats, including a home run and 10 RBIs, added his second home run in the last game.
Next pitch is down in the dirt for a ball.
Tom, a 4.38 average, a 5.48 on base percentage.
Sounds like the next winner of the Tom Davis MVP award. I kid, of course.
Wise takes high.
Fastball up and in, a little bit of chin music there.
You know, the Black Pants, we kind of talked about this in the first game, but the Black Pants have got to be hot, right?
Yes.
So just when I was thinking about that, what did my mind immediately go to? Seinfeld, when George was trying to get the cotton unis.
Here comes the pitch.
Big cut there from Wise. Quickly 2 strikes.
Wind up and the pitch is taken inside, brushed him back. And that'll put Wise on first base. So that'll bring in Kevon Davis.
Way outside as Wise gets back to first.
Davis looking for the sign.
And Davis still looking for that first base hit.
Speculation about a bunt attempt.
Wise bluffs and ultimately holds. Looked like there was
definitely a play on there.
a hit and run possibly, but then Wise didn't end up breaking for second. The pitch, high and away. Yeah, Davis coming in. We talked about this a little bit in the last game when Davis was up. Davis, again, looking for that first base hit. However, does have a .313 on base percentage, so is a very good pitch selector. And there goes Wise.
Good tag. Nope.
He's going to be in there.
Slides in there safely. So runner in scoring position out there for Key. Holding the runner close at second base.
Big hook. And he walks him.
Yeah, that one just finished a little down and inside. Kind of went around the plate a little bit.
So
good take.
Zell flew out to left. Boyer, the home run. Kaufman, the 1-3. And then Wise and Davis both walked. First and second here with 2 down in the bottom of the first. Paul Miller and Tom Davis here at In the Net in Palmyra.
First pitch was kind of a ball all the way. I don't know if he was just trying to show him something upstairs there to set up the rest of the at-bat. I think he just didn't deliver that one properly. Yep.
Oh.
Yep, that one right at his head.
And I'll tell you what, if I'm McLean,
I think he's having some difficulty getting a grip on the ball all of a sudden. Maybe they should allow some sticky tack out there.
McLean almost felt like his life was flashing before his eyes here. And the pitch. That's going to be low. So McLean to this point's had a very good offensive output, but he's also an excellent defender. Now he's going to be in left field today, but played some third base in our last game, made some amazing plays. So looking forward to seeing him as we go forward.
There's a fastball downstairs at the knees for a strike. See if he's going to find the strike zone again.
And he pops it straight up. And comes up with it.
In fair territory, makes the catch.
So the pop out, McLean ends the inning. We will go to the the top of the second, and the Knights have a 1-0 lead. Penn State York. Shirk up to bat.
Looking to start chipping away at that 1-run deficit. That starts with a base runner. Let's see what the Knights are thinking, though. A curveball slapped deep in the hole by the shortstop. Makes a strong throw, and he got him. That was one of the better infield plays I've seen in quite some time from the Central Penn Knights. Deep in the hole, strong throw, got him by an eyelash.
Yeah, what a play. We've, of course, been talking about how fantastic Wise's defense is. There's just another example of it. And J.P. Dyson steps in, a 118 average coming into today. No home runs, no RBIs, 2 hits, and 17 at-bats.
Ooh, some sharp break on that. Breaks over the strike zone. Another one that danced off the outside corner. Again, gets the call.
I got to tell you, Haefner, unbelievably impressive at this point.
And he's moving quick, too. He's throwing a lot of breaking stuff. That's popped in the left field. Should be routine.
Well, what's interesting that you say that, Tom, is you say popped, but he was nearly on the warning track out there and left. That's how short it is at 285. Do you think people, because they see that short porch, just sell out to pull down the line and elevate it?
Well, I imagine it's not much different than how players are when they play in Fenway. I think if it pitches on the inner half, you just kind of commit. You try to elevate the ball because there's a good chance it's going to get out of there. I don't know about this game.
Luzon. Yeah, and Haefner's got that 3/4 delivery as well that absolutely can be deceptive coming out of the hand.
What I like about Haefner is how quick he works.
Ooh.
I say that as he beams him with a curveball.
Well,
but he just kind of gets the ball and he's ready to throw the next one. There's not a lot of indecision.
So Shirk flew out and Dyson hit by the pitch. There's 1 out here in the top of the second.
Fastball called a strike. Throw to second base. Skips into center field, but good backup by the shortstop.
Dyson with the stolen base. Excuse me, that was Luzon there. Big cut there. Comes up empty.
Ball just kept kind of darting away from that outside corner. Got him to commit. Great pitch. Fastball runs in on the hands.
Some pretty incredible movement there as well.
Yeah, that had a little bit of two-seam action to it.
Just off the plate. Can Haefner get out of this jam? Slider outside.
Just a little too far off the plate that way. You know, the key to making that pitch work is it has to look like a strike for as long as possible.
Big cut. Struck him out, and that's going to retire the side. So San Germano strikes out there to end the top of the second. We're going to go to the bottom of the second. Knights lead thanks to Zach Boyer's home run off the scoreboard.
Hey, Central Penn College fans. Rest easy knowing the experts at Select Physical Therapy are on the sidelines, ready to help you and your team in times of need. With convenient locations nearby, getting back in the action is close to home. Go to selectphysicaltherapy.com to find a location near you and start your journey to recovery. Go Knights!
And we'll be right back with the bottom. Paul Miller, Tom Davis here from In the Net in Palmyra. This is game 2 of the Knights and Penn State York. Knights lead 1-0 thanks to the Zach Boyer home run out to right field. And that wasn't a cheapie either. He hit it off the scoreboard, the giant scoreboard, literally, out in right.
Big looping curveball for strike one.
And I have to be honest with you here. Atkins has really struggled to find the plate. 2 walks in the first, and of course gave up the home run. And he's nowhere near the strike zone.
Yeah, it looks like he has some difficulty consistently repeating his delivery, which is not uncommon at this level, right? Major league players make it look easy, but it most assuredly is not.
And they're the best of the best of the best. I mean, the number of people who even play minor leagues and don't make it to the bigs is staggering. And there's a shot to center, and that'll get down. Hoover the single to start off the inning. Always got to love having that leadoff runner on first, eh, Tom?
Yeah, he got himself a fastball there and didn't miss it. Just kind of dropped the bat head and hit it right back where it came from. Didn't try to do too much with it.
So again, fascinated that Smiley back in this game, he did not catch the 6th or the 7th innings. Only caught, appears that he caught the first 5 innings of the last game. So he did not catch the entire game. Maybe that was the goal all along.
Maybe, yes.
To have him catch most of a game and then part of another game to get that 7 or 8 or 9 innings in.
Shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes a ball.
And Hoover just continues to get on base. I mean, Hoover, it's really quite fascinating how many times he's gotten on first. Now, granted, he did reach base thanks to a fielder's choice in the first game, but
quick throw over. Hoover wasn't really going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Hoover didn't even take a lead. Now he takes a little bit of a lead.
Here comes the delivery.
And there he goes. But again, there was a hit and run on. He had a great jump there. Now, here's the question. If you do have a hit and run on, but you see that the runner gets a huge jump, do you ever take the pitch because you know he's going to get in safely at second?
I imagine so. Sometimes it might just be that the pitch is too good to let go. Maybe it's right in the happy zone. Other times I think it's just all happening so fast, and hitting is such a reactionary thing that sometimes they can't help themselves. Smiley digs back in.
2 singles in the first game for Smiley. He's going to bunt. And that was a good bunt.
Pushed it up the first base line. That works as a sacrifice. Runner moves up to second for Stevens.
In a game this tight at the bottom of the order, I think that that's a really good call. Trying to get Stevens going, and a base hit here really could do something. Plus, you know that Zell's on deck and makes excellent contact. So it's really just playing some small ball here.
Try to set up the beginning. Try to stay out of the double play. Try to do a lot of things to get as many hitters to the plate as possible. Spits on that one. Appeared to be a strike, but he gets the call. We will not complain. Put Stevens in a good position to hit. Here comes the delivery. Swung on and fouled straight back.
Central Penn up 1-0 thanks to the Zach Boyer home run. Can Stevens get going here? Way high.
Curveball way up his head.
Might be tough to see from this vantage point, but one of the really interesting facts about Stevens is that he has his own shoe design company. And I'm probably imagining he designed the own shoes that he has on. Straight back at us.
Right in on the hands. Managed to get a piece of the bat on that. Here comes the pitch.
I think he swung it one out of the zone there, and that's going to be just foul.
Keeps him alive.
Stevens really could use a hit here, especially a clutch hit. And there goes Hoover.
He's got third base stolen.
Great steal there by Hoover. Big play. So Hoover the single, Smiley the sacrifice, and Hoover the steal to get to third base.
So another run only 90 feet away here.
Even if Ryan could put one of the outfield, I think they'd send him here. And he thought he walked and he got rung up.
Takes a strike right at the bottom of the zone. That'll turn things over to Zell.
You can tell Stevens is just really frustrated.
He seems like he's pressing. Thought he took a good pitch there, but unfortunately the umpire rung him up.
And Zell's first pitch swinging, but that'll be out of play. You see Hoover over there, third, just waiting for someone to knock him in. Zell makes incredible contact, and here's where we need it. That was high.
Leaves that ball up there. That's the thing about Zell. He doesn't really seem to get himself out, right? He does not always swinging out of his shoes, chasing pitches all over the place. He waits for something that he knows he can do something with. And if he doesn't get it, he's glad to take the walk.
Absolutely. Well, what's interesting about Zell coming into today, .465 on base percentage, and to your point, 8 walks across 42 plate appearances coming into today. And of course, went
coupled with what, 13 steals? 14 steals?
Well, 13 steals now, but he also 2 singles, a double. 3 singles and a double in the first game. So his on base percentage has to be well over 500. So when you're coupling A Nate Wise, for example, with a 548, an Adam Hoover with a 541, and a Zell and Boyer both nearing 500. You have 4 people in your lineup that get on base half of the time. That's incredible.
Long hold.
And he's going to pop that one again, just foul and out of play.
So hanging tough here.
One nothing, but the Knights threaten with 2 down. A base hit here will play to run. And that's going to be outside, and Zell will walk. And Tom, do you want to put the over-under on how many pitches before Zell takes second?
I think I will take the under at 3. It's going to be fewer than 3 pitches.
And what's interesting is I almost wonder, and it looks like the catcher is relaying some signals, basically saying that they're not probably going to throw to second to give him second because they pulled that same play, the steal to second, and then immediately the run on third broke for home.
Yeah, the throw to second would have to be perfect.
And there, again, isn't that a situation where you just let that first pitch go by and get 2 runners in scoring position?
I think Boyer thought he could hit that one for a home run, honestly.
He got some good aluminum on it, but he was in front of it.
Yep. Here comes the pitch.
And then the curve, and he pops it up. Short center. A little bit more exciting than it needed to be, but that's going to retire the side. Unfortunately, the Knights cannot push across a run here, but still lead 1-0. The CPC Film Series returns for the spring term on Friday, May 19th, as Nightly News Hall of Famer Brian Christiana presents the film V for Vendetta. The Student Government Association will be sponsoring the event with popcorn, drinks, and movie-themed snacks available for donations to support the club. Put May 19th on your calendar and make plans to come out to this free event. You know, we had the chance, and I'm not necessarily going to announce anything more than this at this point. We will in the very near future. But speaking of the Nightly News Hall of Fame, we are looking forward to our Nightly News Hall of Fame induction ceremony, an official part of homecoming this year, Tom. So we're very looking forward to that. So keep that on the docket. And of course, if you would like to come, it will be by reservation only. But if you would like to come, you can contact me at palmyra@centralpenn.edu. I'll make sure you get on the guest list. And of course, we have already announced Tyler Coleman will be getting inducted this year. We announced that in the last basketball game. Tyler will actually be joining me for a game here in the booth on April 21st for Community Night. It'll be Tyler Coleman on the broadcast. So congratulations to him. And of course, we will, in due time, let everybody know who the inductees are. We're going to take a quick That's just the output. That's
I
actual
couldn't
mic.
tell. In the...
First pitch swinging there for Penn State York. The fly out to Kaufman. In left to start off the third from Eckinger.
Curveball. Called for a strike. Boy, he's looked pretty good with this breaking stuff out there.
Haefner, very impressive.
Two-seamer in on the hands.
This is going to be tough for Stevens. And he can't quite come up with it. And now he's stuck in the middle. Did hold him to a single there. That was a really tough play.
Yeah, nice
Stevens.
job of keeping him on first base there to keep the double play in order potentially.
And Williams comes up here.
Yeah, looks like we got a bit of a high sky now. Some of these fly balls could be a little tricky.
Carter Williams, 278 on the season. Gonna have a courtesy runner, as they're called. Those are for if your pitcher hits or if your catcher reaches base. And Miller catching here. That massive home run in the first game from A.J. Miller. Big lead there.
Ready for the pitch. Didn't seem any higher than most of the others called today, but
checking in on the runner there at first base. Big cut. Williams down to one knee.
swung at that one, and that one was probably out of the zone. So things even out.
And that is another strike. Looked like
Straight paint, up and away.
Looked like Williams wasn't too pleased with that. And the runner goes. Smiley tried to get it down there. It was a good throw. It just took him a second to come up with that ball and the steal there for Miller.
It was a good pitch to run on, for sure. Took Smiley a little extra time to be able to go down and get that one and transfer the ball to his throwing hand. And that's all it takes, even when the bases aren't slightly bigger, as in the USCAA.
Flinch ball with the steal there, the pinch runner. He closed down the Knights in the 7th in game 1. Saw him warming up, so don't know if we want to see him in this game. He was pitching with high velocity and had a wipeout slider.
Fastball up at the chin.
It's going to work the count to 3-2. And as they say, the payoff pitch. And that's going to be to the shallow outfield, but should be a rather routine play. And it is. 2 down on a runner on second here for Penn State York. It's going to bring up Jason Williams, 3 for 11 on the year. 5 RBI, hitting 273. 234 average for Penn State York coming into today. So haven't been able to get the bats going.
First pitch breaking ball there. I expect him to throw a fastball here.
And he got the slider
He
instead.
throws him another breaking ball. This time he caught the outside corner. Does he bring him a heater here? Maybe just a show me heater. There it is.
Little high. So just for some comparison, Christianum, Penn State York beat them for 2, lost to Bucks County Community College 10-8, and beat Penn State Schuylkill for 2.
Got him with a breaking ball there.
Followed up with a split the following day. So they had a 4-game set here coming into today and just won 3 of 4 Saturday and Sunday last weekend. Get them to 5-5 on the year. Knights on the other hand, 6-11. So looking for a victory. And there's another fastball. This is going to be another tough play, but Wise looks like he has it. Calling for it.
And he puts it away. Tough play, battle in the sun. His hat fell off.
Well, that will retire the side. No, not any damage there, even after the single by Miller. We're going to go to the bottom of the 3rd, and the Knights are up 1-0. Did you know that Central Penn College doesn't charge any type of fee for applying? It's absolutely free. Check out our website, centralpenn.edu, to apply. And of course, Central Penn's year-round accelerated schedule, composed of 4 11-week terms, enables full-time students to earn a bachelor's degree in 3 years. Fast-track your success with our accelerated schedule. We're going to take a short break. We will be right back for the
You gotta.
And here comes Kaufman. Grounds out there to start off this inning. Kaufman grounds out to start off the bottom of the third.
Ready with the delivery. Here it comes.
And here's Wise. I'll tell you.
That curveball up at the eyes is really hard to lay off.
I'll tell you, Wise has hit the dickens out of some fastballs, but he struggled here with the curve. And that's going to be low.
Lays off that fastball. Just kept going down.
Here's the thing. I'm sure a lot of people struggle with the curve on occasion, you know?
I'm certain. Even the great Pedro Serrano.
I was literally just going to say that. And there's a shot. But it's right to the left fielder. That was excellent aluminum on that ball.
Great
Tom.
contact. Yep, just right in his tracks. You can hit it hard, but you can't necessarily aim where it's going. Unless you're Tony Gwynn. And I think, even today.
Hit of the season. Yes, it
that
is.
is a fair ball.
And Davis going to second for the double. And he is so happy to get his first base hit of the season, and it immediately puts him into scoring position.
And I think he's going to get a courtesy runner. No, he's just giving his gear to the first base coach. These days they have the batting gloves. They have the sleeve that they have in their arm for when they're, like the mitten. You see the mitten.
Calling time here for some reason. Not exactly sure what the call of time was, but I digress. We will move on. McLean, base hit, should play to run. Wow.
That curveball had some drop to it, but was still too high when it crossed the plate. Big looping curveball.
That was an impressive curveball, even though it was outside of the zone.
Ready for the next delivery.
And there's a shot. That's the deep left center. That's going to be off the wall. And here comes Davis. And McLean.
A very fortunate ricochet to the center fielder saved some runs there. Because he could have run forever, but, it bounced off the wall, and the center fielder just kind of touched it with his glove before it had the chance to to ricochet back into center field. That would have been trouble for sure. But nonetheless, the Knights played a run.
And it's 2-0 Knights for Hoover. Hoover singled and stole a base, but was stranded on third. And again, Hoover with just insane numbers in terms of on-base percentage. I mean, if you just look on the surface, no home runs, 6 RBIs, a 320 average. But when you figure, 304. But when you factor in the 11 team-leading walks coming into today to get his on-base percentage over 500, that's just really incredible.
He's a valuable player.
What's interesting is we haven't seen Hoover pitch much this season. He was one of our stellars this season.
Basically took that one out of the catcher's glove, and I think they're going to call catcher's interference. I was going to say either he swung really late to get that, or the catcher had reached forward a little bit with the glove, and it looks like the umpires have decided that that was the latter.
You know, you usually don't see catcher's interference too much in the majors, but I was watching a Rockies game. It happened twice in like 2 consecutive innings. So it does happen.
It definitely does happen.
Smiley was up in the second and had a sacrifice, but can't really sacrifice here with 2 down.
Takes a curveball inside for a ball. So, runner out there at second base. And a runner behind him at first.
And can that get down? And the catch made in center field. Or did he drop it?
Yeah, he caught it.
That was kind of a late call there.
It was a great catch, too, considering he was playing deep. He had to run in for that ball.
Smiley thought he hit it right on the button, but hit it right at the center fielder, who makes a good play. But the Knights push across another run in the way Haefner is pitching. Let's hope that'll hold. So it's going to be 2-0 as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Hey, Central Penn Knights. Rest easy knowing the experts at Select Physical Therapy are on the sidelines ready to help you and your team in times of need. With convenient locations nearby, getting back in the action is close to home. Go to selectphysicaltherapy.com to find a location near you and start your journey to recovery. Go! Paul Miller, Tom Davis in the net here in Palmyra. We're here for Game 2 for the Knights as they take on Penn State York. The only time we are in the net this season. 11 a.m. start this morning. And we got started just a little bit after 1:30 here this afternoon. Nice 70-degree day. Big cut there from Schubert.
This hitter looks like a pretty big boy. I wouldn't allow him to really get into one here. He smashed that to third.
Shot to third. Boyer, fairly routine play, and makes it. Of course, keep in mind our upcoming contests. Our next broadcast will be on Tuesday, April 18th at 3 o'clock versus Christianum from FNB Field. And, of course, community nights. Circle that on your calendar. Free entry and $2 hot dogs, $1 sodas. Cannot beat it in terms of the amount of cost on April 21st, Friday night at FNB Field against Penn State Wilkes-Barre. And then we'll conclude the season on Tuesday, May 2nd against Bucks County Community College at FNB Field.
Did not get the call on the second pitch, but did get the benefit of the call on the first pitch there on a big, slow curveball.
Knights lead 2-0. And Haefner. He's got some velocity that I'm just not used to seeing with him. Probably because he's fresh. As we mentioned, he's only pitched a couple of innings this season thus far.
Yeah, it seems like he'll show the velocity kind of when he needs to. He's got that in the tank, so he can kind of ramp up when he needs to, and enough to just keep the hitters off balance.
There's a shot. That's going to be over to Hoover, and Hoover takes it. And that will be out number 1. So we talked about Haefner earlier. Has only appeared in 2 games, 4 innings pitched with an 11.25 ERA. Of course, thus far, it is going to improve his stats.
Filthy breaking ball there. Found the outside corner. Certainly wouldn't have been looking for that in this count.
Haefner fires. Inside, just off the plate. That's a pitch that he had been getting earlier in this game.
That's a pitch he definitely wanted.
And the slider. This is going to be a tough one for Wise. But I'll tell you, Wise makes the tough plays even look routine. That's going to be a quick 1-2-3 for Haefner here in the top of the 4th. We're going to go to the bottom of the 4th. The Knights lead 2-0. Central Penn College is now partnering with Handshake, our new career management platform, to help students and alumni discover new career paths and find amazing jobs and internships. We understand students can be busy, so we've pre-populated some basic information on your profile for you. Simply click on the Handshake tile on My Central Penn or download the Handshake app to your phone for quick access. Alumni and employers contact career services at centralpenn.edu to find out how you can join us for free on Handshake. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 4th. So that doesn't bother me. Back here, Paul Miller, Tom Davis here at In the Net in Palmyra. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning as Ryan Stevens
Makes the low strike call. You know, Stevens has been having that ball called against him all day, those low strikes.
New pitcher out here for Penn State York.
Tried the backdoor curveball, but it kind of went around the plate there.
Two earned for Adkins, and the heater there. This is Eli Weigel. Weigel has only appeared in 1 contest and allowed 4 walks in a third of an inning and 2 earned with a 54 ERA. So
Stevens hanging in there. Fouled that one back to the right.
So I think Weigel would appreciate forgetting that outing. But does face the lefty here. And there's a shot to center, and that's exactly what Stevens needed.
Keeps putting in that hard work. He got one there. Nice level swing, line drive up the middle. Good piece of hitting.
Turned off.
I saw.
And back to the top of the order with Zell.
Let's see what Zell's got against the lefty here. Squares the bunt, pulls it back, takes a ball.
Stevens snuck off about halfway down the line. So this is the 6th contest since Saturday. They looks like they almost had
him leaning.
Stevens leaning, but got back safely.
But when everybody in attendance yelled back, he got back. He's stepping off to that big lead again. The throw behind doesn't get him, but
2-0 here, and Zell, for 1, did walk and stranded at first back in the 2nd. And Weigel is really keeping an eye on Stevens and going back again.
Risky there. He almost threw that one away. Of course, there isn't much foul territory over there. Squares the bunt. Pulls it back and takes a strike that time. Probably didn't want to bunt that breaking ball. Third baseman is now playing way in, anticipating the bunt. Time for a game of pepper. Nope.
Zell gives it a shot on the bunt. Now, does it appear that Zell has batting gloves in his pocket but doesn't wear them?
I wanted to mention that last at bat.
I wonder if that's just for the base paths, maybe trying to slide head first on this turf?
Perhaps.
I was always a batting glove person. And there goes Stevens!
And he picked a great pitch to run on as that ball bounced. Took a while for the catcher to pick it up. Plenty of time to take the base.
And now, I mean, you could still bunt with Boyer on deck, or you could let Zell swing away full count.
I think they're going to let him swing away with 2 strikes. We'll see.
As good of a contact batter as he is, I think so.
He takes ball 4. Worked another walk, did Zell.
And what can Zach Boyer do here?
First pitch. Slider taken outside for a ball.
Boyer, the dinger in the first, popped out to third in the 2nd. But here's as good a chance as any for some more RBI. And there's another shot to right. Got a little bit more air under this one. And Stevens bluffs.
Draws the throw, but runners have to stay put.
So cannot advance the runners there with that pop out. Brings up Kaufman, who's grounded out and grounded out. 1 for 1 to the pitcher, 1 to third base. So again, a base hit here would be huge.
Just looking for anything he can hit to the outfield here. Big hole on the right side as well. Kaufman takes that for a strike, down and in.
The pitch inside to Kaufman.
Notice the pitcher tweak his timing there. I hesitate to call it a quick pitch, but it almost functioned like one.
And Weigel got himself in a jam here early. And there goes. It's going to get away. And Stevens takes third while Zell takes second. On the wild pitch.
The rare occasion that could happen back here with this little bit of space, as we've talked about. But it bounced so high that there was plenty of time.
Well, plus, of course, Zell and Stevens have some speed. And now you've got a situation where something to the outfield should score a run. But Kaufman takes.
2 strikes on Kaufman now.
On the pitch, Kaufman fights it off down the first base line.
Keeps the at-bat alive. Beautiful day here in the net in Palmyra.
70-degree day.
Perfect day for baseball. If you're not here, you should be.
And that's going to be a really tough play. They've bluffed a Weagle.
But they do not get the runner going back to third.
Weagle bluffed the first, went back to third base. Stevens ended up getting back. And so that single loads the bases for Wise.
And I do think he had time to get the runner at first. Maybe he thought he didn't.
He definitely had time, but he wanted to get the lead runner there with only one out. And Wise is the person you want up in this situation.
Swings at the first pitch curveball. He probably didn't want to swing at that, but he's got the bases loaded. You know he's eager to do some damage here. We've seen him do damage all day. Just got to wait for something that he can drive here.
And he's already hit a home run today. What about a grand slam right here? That looked like his pitch, but just out of play down the first base line. Still 2-0 here.
So he's got to make sure he's still thinking up the middle. He doesn't want to get too pull happy here and try for that grand slam. A base hit's going to score runs.
Well, so I would say at least 2 with Zell on second. Another off-speed pitch.
Back.
What can Wise do here? So far, the early season MVP of this team, bases loaded. And that's down and away. Only one out here. Boyer flew out, but a single from Stevens and a steal. A walk from Zell and a single from Kaufman have the bases loaded with only one out.
Comes the pitch, and that's taken for a ball inside.
Well, Wise, no slouch himself, has walked 9 times coming into today with a .548 on base percentage.
It's like we got a 2-2 count. Pitcher does not want to fall behind 3-2, so look for something to hit. He got it and fouled it back to the right.
Still the 2-2. Checking in on Stevens over there at third, taking his lead behind Coach Stern. Back to Wise in the batter's box.
Pitch.
And that was high. That might have hit ball 4, but this should be deep enough to score a run. And here comes Stevens.
The ball had come loose anyway. The umpire was waiting to see that.
I was going to say, I'm waiting for the ump to call it in it because I was just out of my line of sight.
Because I think the throw did beat him there.
It would have been a tight play either way.
Bang play, yes.
But the sac fly, Stevens scores, and now 3-0 Knights.
The other runners moved up as well. Now it's Kibon looking for another big hit.
And Davis has a great opportunity here. He did get his first base hit earlier in this contest, a double. So I can pretty much guarantee a double here would easily get 2 more in with Zell on third. And Weagle, and there's a shot! And there's one coming in! Zell's coming in!
Turn that fastball around, send it right back where it came from.
And Zell and Kaufman both score 2 doubles today for Kevon Davis. And Davis knocks in 2 more. Zell scored. Kaufman scored. Davis with a double.
And you know Kevon is on cloud 9 right now, coming through with the clutch with that big 2 RBI base hit.
And that's going to make it 5-0 Knights. McLean steps in. He doubled back in the third. Has an RBI. And that's sort of a golf shot, but this is going to be a really tough play out in center. Somehow they make it.
Held on to the ball as he hit the ground.
I mean, that was a pretty incredible play there, I have to be honest with you. Well, that'll do it for the Knights, but not before the damage is done. 3 runs thanks to a Kevon Davis double, and it's 5-0 as we go to the top of the 5th. Central Penn students and alumni, are you looking for your next great internship or job opportunity? The Center for Career Services and Development is partnering with Junior Achievement to give you free access to JA Inspire, a virtual career expo that is running now through June 30th. The exhibit hall features booths from over 60 employers. Each booth includes a description of the company and videos, as well as job openings. You can participate by visiting jascpa.vfairs.com. If you have any questions about the career fair, please contact Career Services at centralpenn.edu. We're going to take a short break, and we will be back here. And Haefner back out on the mound, looking for an early bunt, but the slider a little wide.
He did not pull that bat back either, so that'll be an 0-1 count.
Lausen hit by the pitch back in the second. Took that one in the back. That slider there, it looked like it was going to hit him and then broke back over the plate. Didn't get the call, though. Top 5, Knights up by a 5 spot. It's going to be outside as well.
A little bit of a slurve.
And the bunt.
Fielded cleanly.
I mean, that's as good a defense as you're going to see. Boyers had an excellent day defensively and offensively. Quickly one down as Lausen thrown out trying to bunt.
Yeah, I would think that some of those ground balls, like on a bunt, would be a little easier to field on the very uniform carpet.
Big cut there from San Germano. Hitting .273, no homers, 2 RBI on the season. 3 for 11 coming into today.
Big swing.
Another big cut. Haefner just dealing. He's about halfway off the mound, thinking he had a big strikeout there. Hopefully he knows there's only one out.
Mm-hmm. That pitch just took a little bit up. Yeah, he was ready to let them throw the ball around.
Big cut there, and he struck him out.
There's the throw around. Yeah, he got him with another beautiful breaking ball there.
I mean, Haefner just looks unhittable at this point, which, you know, sort of begs the question with some really amazing, frankly, starts from Spataford, Kozer last week, and then Haefner today. You wonder if the second part of the season that Coach goes to maybe a bit more of a rotation. Here, it's almost like they're lining guys up to start at certain times, which I totally get. Mm-hmm. But I wonder if for the big games, they're going to have some of their aces lined up.
Yeah, again, I I think Hernandez would be such a great bullpen piece coming in later to pitch an inning or two.
And I think, too, it has a lot to do with the number of games. In fact, after our 18th game, they're going to play 8 games in a week. So, I mean, that's really challenging. There's a shot to
right field line. Makes the catch. That'll retire the side.
Quick 1-2-3 inning. Yeah, just before we go, the Christendom game is our next broadcast on the 18th. Then the 19th, they go to Penn State Scranton for 2, back to FNB Friday for a doubleheader, and then 1 the following Tuesday at Lancaster Bible College. So there's 7 games in 7 days. So, again, that probably plays into the way that Coach Stern is handling that pitching staff. All right, we're going to take a short break. Paul Miller and Tom Davis from FNB Field. Nice. Hoover steps in against Weagle. Inside. Hoover a single and a steal and reached on catcher interference back on the 3rd. I'm assuming that's just like a walk in terms of how you're scoring, if you're scoring at home?
Yeah, that's a good question. I assume that would be considered a walk. I wonder if they call that an error on the catcher.
It is called an error on the catcher. I do know that. But I'm just saying for
so
scoring
if it's called
purposes.
An error on the catcher, can you call it a walk?
Good question. We'll get to the bottom of that for you. And inside.
So 3-1 count. Good hitters count here. Fastball.
Just foul.
So we'll reset and try it again here. Here comes the pitch. The windup. Easy take out and away. So that'll put Hoover on base.
I mean, that's 3 for 3 in terms of being on base. It's really quite, I don't want to say surprising, because this has just been his MO the last 2 years, to be an on-base machine. But very, very impressive. And again, this just speaks to this team and the grinded-out nature that they have. Of course, they have. Wise can certainly hit one.
Drops a bunt down here.
And what about it is?
Good bunt. Good play on the pitcher there to record the out. But that does push the runner into scoring position for Stevens.
And Stevens,
a big hit last time.
Absolutely, big hit to lead off the inning and would ultimately come around and score on the Wise sac fly.
Swings at the curveball up at the letters. fouls it off at the plate. And I can tell you from personal experience, the eyes do get big when the ball is up. That's why they say, right, if it's belt high, all you have to do is touch it. Ooh, takes a close pitch. Finally gets the call on one of those fastballs down. We've seen that call go against him basically all afternoon.
Weagle the pitch. That's going to get away from him, and Hoovie's going to third. And he's not going to draw a throw on the passed ball. And now Stevens, all he needs is a base hit to score another run and gives Central Penn some insurance here, up 5. Inside. Stevens getting ready to graduate, so maybe his last season here with the Knights, as is Haefner, who, I mean, these guys still do have another year of eligibility left, so it's not out of the question. Stevens, a tough call.
The return of that low strike against only Stevens, it seems, today.
And maybe that leads to part of the reason why he's getting so frustrated, because he thinks he's getting squeezed.
Yeah. Thinks he's taking some close pitches, and the call doesn't seem to go his way.
And there's going right back up the middle. That's going to be another. He came off the base there, so waiting for the umpire to make the call.
I believe the umpire can't tell what the call was.
Nor can anyone. The umpire did not make a call. Ryan Stevens still at first base here. Either way, the run scores.
The umpires are going to talk about this.
I mean, either way,
there was no clear call made.
I think that, to me, they're going to call him safe. To me, I think he beat the throw anyway, so it's a moot point if he was off the base or not. Regardless, and the Penn State York coach not pleased here. This is the second.
He's asking which of the umpires changed the call.
And this is the second call that's sort of been borderline that's gone against Penn State York, and understandably why he is frustrated. Stevens still at first. And either way, that run's going to count because there's only one out. So at worst, it's going to be its second out, but it looks like the call is going to stand. And now Owen Zell's got an opportunity here. Tom, Zell has reached base 6 times today. 6 out of 8 times, including 2 walks in this game, and scored back in the 4th. Was reaching for that.
There was definitely a hit and run on.
And again, Stevens looked like he was in there, but got called out. So I wonder if that's one of sort of those revenge calls that we talked about.
And that definitely explains why Zell swung at a pitch that he normally takes. The discipline that I've seen from Zell at the plate, from all the games I've seen, he normally doesn't swing at a pitch like that unless he's trying to just put that in play.
Nonetheless, Knights still lead 6-0, now 2 outs.
Late time call.
The catcher called time there. Interesting. And the pitch.
Takes that one for a ball. Now, if Stevens were in there, that would have been a strike.
But Stevens, nice to see 2 singles here, 2 for 3, and a run scored. And that's going to be a real tough play. Although Weagle, a lefty, has made it look routine. I'll tell you, for a right-handed pitcher, that would have been a really tough play. All right,
especially with the speedy Zell going down the base paths, too.
Hoover scores, making it 6-0. Can Haefner keep it going as we go to the top of the 6th? We shall find out in just a minute. Central Penn College Student Government Association is a voice for all students, those living on campus, those studying online, and those returning to continue their education. SGA is here to make your time at Central Penn College the best experience possible. You can contact SGA with any questions or comments by emailing sga@centralpenn.edu. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with the top of the sixth. Back here, Paul Miller, Tom Davis in the net in Palmyra. Game 2, Knights fell 9-8 in Game 1. But Game 2 have a, hate to say the word comfortable, but a 6-0 lead.
Here in the late innings.
And that did get away from Smiley, but fortunately no one on base. Beautiful afternoon for some baseball. I hope you all have been getting the opportunity to watch some games. The last couple of nights I went to turnover games, Tom, at around 9:30 or 9:45. Guess what? They were over.
Yes.
That's usually about when I get to turn on a game or two, is later in the evening. I usually get to catch the last couple of innings, but with the pitch clock and all the other rule changes, that's not happening.
Things are humming by. Games are, on average, a half hour shorter.
I'm still not sure. We were talking about this off air. I still think it's almost an overreaction.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they gave the players the option to start doing this, to start staying in the batter's box and not leaving, and they said they would fine them. But then you had people like David Ortiz said, well, I'll just pay the fine. And so no one was making any effort to keep a foot in the batter's box, and so MLB finally had to say, okay, well, we let you do this. We tried to make this happen, and the games got 5 minutes longer as a result. So I think MLB had to step in and do something. I think this is a great arrangement. Do I think that there may be changes? There very well could be, but I do think that this flavor of play is here to stay.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all. I just think, like, a 2-hour game, 2 hours, 3 minutes, you said was the fastest game in MLB history. I mean, I think it's kind of over-adjusting. And I still don't... maybe adding just a couple of seconds to the pitch clock.
I think
I don't
we're
know.
also likely to see 2-hour games like that when one team is not hitting and the pitcher is just on a roll, as was the case in that Seattle game. I mean, if one team is just not even touching the ball and everything is an out, those games are going to hum by.
There goes the runner. And he got him.
I will tell you that some of those Orioles-Red Sox games in the past few days, those were not over in 2 hours and 5 minutes because there was lots of offense.
So that's the counter argument, that these rules should mean more offense, more running, more hits to short left field or right field for left-handed batters.
But if it's a game that's like the other one, it will go faster because those are the games that young people just don't like to sit through a good pitcher's duel. I know you and I would sit through a pitcher's duel any day of the week, but we are competing with the TikTok generation, my friend.
I think that that's a little bit overblown in terms of changing the game to get new fans in. I think what it does, though, is gets more casual fans in. Of course, I understand the attention span thing, but you're looking out here at 18, 19, 20-year-old men, young people playing this game and being passionate for it.
Hit by pitch there on an off speed.
Of course, this is a conversation we can continue another time, but certainly worthwhile to discuss.
Oh, there are so many points on many sides. But I think think in the short term, I think MLB did what they felt they needed to do to make a direct difference in the product on the field.
They succeeded. You know, the one thing that I don't see really much difference is the shift, and I hated the shift. And you just don't see a whole lot of balls hit over there.
From what I heard yesterday, the batting average, there's a fly ball to left field and put away for the easy out.
Well, we will continue this conversation in a moment, but cruising right along is Zach Haefner. We're going to go to the bottom of the 6th. Back here in the net, Paul Miller, Tom Davis. You got Boyer, Kaufman, Wise are due up. Boyer, the home run, the mammoth shot. Back in the first, 1 for 3. Takes a strike on the outside corner.
That was the most emphatic strike call I've heard all day.
And the curveball.
First base umpire says he did not commit to that.
How he would know, I'm not quite sure, but you know, only having 2 umps, that's you're working with what you got to work with.
Yep. Yeah, you don't often appeal to first with a left-handed hitter.
And that's coming straight up. And the net.
Just got the net.
He had a play on that, did Miller.
And you just said the name of the field. In the net.
Maybe that's where the name came from. Who knows? Miller had a play on it, but the net just above us prevented him from catching it. So another break for the Knights.
Another one fouled straight back into the net.
And gosh, if you're not paying attention and you would foul it straight back like Boyer just did, that would come down. It could come down and hit you right in the head.
Really quickly, yes.
Because that was straight up and straight down. And he froze him on the outside corner for the strikeout.
Yeah, it gets a little bit of a generous call there on the corner, but sold it pretty well, committed to it. Gets the strikeout.
Being the lefty, I mean, I would probably say that came across the zone in the strike zone. And Kaufman. First pitch swinging.
Fouled straight back our way. Ready for the next delivery. And that ball down in the dirt. Just about ready for the next delivery. The windup and the pitch. Taken again downstairs for a ball. Kaufman not biting on this stuff.
One down here. Boyer out on strikes. And Kaufman 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. And this is going to be another tough play. The shortstop makes it look pretty simple.
right.
Dyson at short makes a great play, and Kaufman down on the 6-3.
And that brings Wise to the plate. Currently nobody on base, but...
And that almost took out one of the coaches.
When you have someone in there with home run power, as Wise does, as well as extra base power.
I think Stern is watching his life flash before his eyes down there at third base. And
Chopper in the infield.
right to Dyson. And they're going to get him out, even though Wise dove at first.
Another face first slide.
Well, we're going to go to the top of the 6th. Can Haefner close it down for the shutout? We will find out here in just a minute. And since this is our final time with you here, I just want to take the time and go over just a couple of dates here. We'll pause on the live read. Next time our broadcast will be on the air, it will be Tuesday, April 18th versus Christendom at 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock at FNB Field. Of course, that second game time is dependent on the first, how long that first game takes, and it's about 30 minutes between. So I would say second game probably starts about 5:30 or so. Again, April 18th at Christendom versus Christendom at FNB Field. And of course, community night, please mark on that calendar, April 21st, a 5 o'clock start for a doubleheader 5 and 7 under the lights at FNB Field against Penn State Wilkes-Barre. And then Tom and I will end the season with you against our arch rival on May 2nd, Bucks County Community College from FNB Field for a 1 and a 3. So 3 more times with you here this year, 6 more total games, hoping to continue to develop and perfect this new 3-camera setup that we have. Hopefully you've been enjoying this, and we're going to go to the top of the 7th. And first pitch swinging, Nathan Wise comes up with it, and the out.
Makes the clean throw to first. Nice play.
Quickly one down as Shirky's retired. You want to give a shout out to Kevon Davis here with 2 doubles and 2 RBI and reach base 3 times.
Yeah, big day for Key. I'm sure he really enjoyed himself out here today.
On the other hand, so long as 2 more outs are had, there's no question the Nightly News player of the game has to be Zach Haefner. I mean, he is just
Mowing
on
him down.
fire.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to go as far to say as I don't believe I have ever seen him pitch this well, and I've seen him pitch over the last 2 seasons. I mean, this is really incredible.
Yep. He's just firing strikes. There's another one down.
Would you be in agreement with me on the player of the game being Zach Haefner?
I could get behind that, absolutely.
Well, we're probably only 1 out left. Of course, don't want to jinx anything, but should this game come to a quick conclusion, we are definitely looking forward to being back here with you on April 18th from FNB Field. Again, our apologies to all earlier on the technical difficulties. This is the first time we're trying our new 3-camera setup. We understand that there was some viewing issues of Game 1, and for that we apologize.
Big swing and a miss at another plus fastball up and in. At this point, he can just empty the tank, whatever he's got. I expect a little more velocity this. Yeah, looks like he's bringing it too.
He doesn't even look tired. I mean, after 7 strong innings.
And then long innings from your offense.
And there's the Wise, and it gets through the legs.
Again, on the backhand.
Tom, by my count, Haefner's only allowed 2 hits. He allowed a single to Miller back in the 3rd. He did hit 2 batters, and he did walk 2 batters, but really incredible outing thus far. And this is going to be a pinch hitter. This was the pitcher in game number 1, McNew. Quentin McNew.
First pitch breaking ball right in there for a strike. That was pretty. Let's see what he throws him here. Another curveball. That one stayed up just a little bit. Doesn't get the call. We might see fastball here, even if it's a show me fastball. Inside. There it is.
Just foul. And Stern has to dive out of the way of another one.
Well, down to their final strike.
And what can McNew do here? And there's a shot to center.
That curveball stayed up.
Stevens comes up with it and limits the damage to only one base, but
still searching for this final out.
.32 Colin Heaps. Only 2 at-bats on the season for Heaps for San Hermano. I think this game is Haefner's to win or lose.
Mm-hmm.
High and away.
I think he really should stick with the hard stuff this at bat. He did, but he missed downstairs that time. So 2-0. Looks like we're going to get a visit.
We're going to take a quick break.
Let's go, Haefner, do your job. Let's go, buddy.
Knights lead 6-0 here down to the final out. And Heaps up to bat. 2-0 count.
There's the fastball. Get back in the count.
Big pitch there. The 2-1. He's going to get him again.
That'll even the count at 2-2.
And can this close him out?
Big pitch.
Just off the plate. Full count. And you do not want to load the bases here.
Absolutely not. He's got to stick with the fastball here.
Runners are going. Shot to center.
That's going to get down.
That's going to score a run. And there goes the shutout. But still only first and second, so they've been kind of holding the runners in check in terms of on the base paths. First and second for Penn State York as we get back to the top of the order with A.J. Miller. Miller singled, walked, and struck out. Did have a home run in the first game.
First pitch is up high. Again, the breaking ball. Fastball on the outside corner. Gets the strike call that time.
And that was a huge pitch. Big cut.
Foul tipped into the mitt.
Gets ahead 1-2. And down to their final strike is Miller. And what can Haefner do here? Ooh. Just off the plate. Haefner.
Nice frame job there by Smiley. Just didn't get the call.
Haefner not happy on that call. The 2-2. And there's a shot. And this could be trouble. but Kaufman comes down with it, and that's going to do it. And the Knights get out of here with a split, and congratulations to a fantastic game from Nightly News Player of the Game, Zach Haefner, going the distance, only allowing 1 run. And again, a shout out to Kevon Davis, who not only got his first base hit of the season, hit 2 doubles and 2 runs batted in. So Tom, as we look forward to the Knights doing some traveling here over the next few weeks, including their next game Friday versus Bucks County Community College, then a single header for Penn State Brandywine, and then back in York, at York, next Tuesday. What can we look for from the Knights?
Well, I hope to see some more effective pitching like this. I haven't seen pitching this good in a long time, and just the general tenacity that the team has been playing with. You know, they're playing small ball. They're hitting the big home runs when they have to. Just really have a balanced approach going. I mean, how often do you see a team trying to drop down as many bunts as they have while also hitting multiple home runs?
Hitting and running as well. Good defense. We saw some great plays from Boyer, from Wise, Stevens. So congrats to the Knights. They get out of here with a split. Gonna go to 7-11 on this season. And of course, we'll be back here with you on April 18th from FNB Field. But in the meantime, for Tom Davis, this is Paul Miller. We'll see you again next time for Nightly News broadcasts of